Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa channel, where I read you those cryptocurrency news articles so you don't have to. And it also just keeps you and myself informed on what's going on in the crypto space and what is actually going down. There is nothing going on in the crypto space to bring down the news of the crypto pricing. So that's got to be some worldly news, because we see from crypto bubbles, it's a sea of red. Bitcoin has actually dipped a little down to, I believe, 1059 right now. So if you're looking to buy the dip, you may want to take advantage of that. But yeah, so the 6 articles I got for you that we're going to cover today, again, none of them is really bad news at all with crypto. Just some more reminiscence, adoption, and whatnot. So something's got to be going on in the real world. I was hearing about cyber attacks going on yesterday, so something was going crazy there. Was it today or yesterday? We had that Indian airline that was going to London just crash into a plane. So there's some serious world stuff going on right now, which is definitely affecting the market. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the crypto space today so far. But hey, you know what can be so? Let's bring some good news in this space. Like, have you ever tried viewing everything in Bitcoin? Well, I found, like, when I was stumbling through these news articles, I noticed this one browser extension that converts everything into the price of Bitcoin and Satoshi. So, like, if you're browsing Amazon, Walmart, grocery store shopping, everything churns in. So it's actually a pretty cool way to see the world, and also maybe help you from not buying something you probably shouldn't be. It's like, ooh, look at that Switch 2. I really want that, but how much Bitcoin is that? So I'll download the extension. I'll show you how it works and everything. But I wanted to start off with that article as we go into the crypto news. So yes, so again, we're late today. I forgot why. I think I was putting together our class on crypto wallets today. Yes, because every Tuesday and Thursday we have crypto classes here at the Crypto Club via online Zoom or in person. And yes, I was covering that. So that's why I couldn't do my noon show today. But tomorrow, I don't think I have anything blocking my schedule. So I will be back at noon with more crypto news. But I'm here at 7 o'clock Eastern time, nice and sunny. Rain just went away here in Florida. So let's go through the news. Let's finish off this last hour we got here at the club. So here we go. Let's start off with this browser extension that converts everything into Bitcoin. Here's why. So Opportunity Cost is a browser extension that displays every price in Bitcoin or sats, hoping to serve as a mimetic tool for mass adoption. Now, in brief, this is an opportunity cost, where opportunity cost is a browser extension that automatically converts all website prices to Bitcoin and sats to the smallest denomination of Bitcoin. Now, the creator believes that the tool will help accelerate Bitcoin's adoption by helping users visualize spending in cryptocurrency, and it may also reduce unnecessary purchases by showing the opportunity cost of purchases, the creator said. So yeah, so that's a little brief explanation of it, but here's the full take on it now. So a new browser extension converts prices on every site into Bitcoin and sats, the smallest denomination of the orange coin. So if you didn't know that, a Satoshi or a sat, that's what we call the smallest denomination, because you can break apart a Bitcoin 100th of a millionth time. So it takes 100 million Satoshis to equal 1 Bitcoin. So that's how much you can break it apart. So its creator says that this extension is a step towards mass adoption and will help him in his personal life, and might even stop unnecessary purchases. Because if you're seeing, like, you can have this much Bitcoin or this item, it may stop you from actually buying it. But we have viewing money in Bitcoin and sats instead of dollars can be a refreshing and kind of funny, but the extension creator says it also opens your eyes to how much Bitcoin you could stack instead. Here is the tweet from Antidote Reckless Consumerism, but thanks to Opportunity Cost app, you got to see it. So he's taking a look at the Apple iPhone 15 256. I'm not sure what the currency is on that, where it's 69,500 something, and that would be 741,000 Satoshis. So it's like, I may actually want to keep the Satoshis over the phone. The Opportunity Cost launched on Chrome and Brave browser on Tuesday, with Firefox compatibility to follow soon. Immediately, it was met by social media buzz as crypto enthusiasts flocked to see their favorite products in sats and started to realize how much Bitcoin they were spending, all on silly purchases. Now, the extension was created by Marty Bent, managing partner at the investment firm 1031 and founder of Bitcoin-focused media company TFTC. Now, short for the truth for a commoner, Ben told Decrypt that the extension serves multiple purposes, but most importantly, it's a mimetic tool for normies to just understand what he believes the future will look like. Here's Parker Lewis's tweet. Bro, opportunity cost by TFTC 21 working for the first time. This house is way too expensive lately. Expensive, definitely not worth 24.99 Bitcoin. The dollar price could be right for all I know, but start pricing in Bitcoin, it's the better, more neutral unit of account. So yeah, so that house is looking like at $2.75 million, but when you see 24.99 Bitcoin, it's like, oof. I would really much rather have the Bitcoin because it'll do better than that house will. But he said you can try to explain things to them. You can grab them by the shoulders, you can shake them, you can urge them to do things, but many people hear you when you do that. But not many listen, he explained. So I thought this app was a good way to help people see Bitcoin and really begin to conceptualize what the world would look like if Bitcoin were their money. Now, ironically, it launched the same day economist and longtime Bitcoin critic Peter Schiff said he would admit he was wrong about the cryptocurrency. If everything becomes priced in Bitcoin, the opportunity cost extension is a step in the right direction for this to become a reality, the creator said. And was this a tweet from the TFTC? Yep, Peter Schiff says he'll admit he's wrong on Bitcoin if I wake up in a world where everything is priced in Bitcoin. Cool. Now open your browser. Our new extension, Opportunity Cost, shows prices in Bitcoin everywhere you browse. So that's pretty funny. But he said, I don't imagine that many people who aren't into Bitcoin will download it at first, Ben said. But the power of the tool is that it can go very viral because people who are into Bitcoin will take screenshots of things priced in Bitcoin, share that, and the people who are outside will see that and begin hopefully to have questions enter their mind about Bitcoin. Now, while he hates the term Bitcoin maxi, Bet understands that most people would label him and his company as exactly that. He says that he uses Bitcoin every day as a form of payment, and his company TFTC pays all of its employees at least partly in Bitcoin. Now, as such, the extension doubles as a tool to help his employees better understand the pricing of the products they're purchasing. And so here's another tweet showing that it's a very cool feature out there. Again, this one's looking up Dr. Squatch with Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. I'm sure you've seen this soap bar in a lot of TikTok or Instagram short ads out there. But whoa, why does that one cost $1,600? Or you see it as 0.01 Bitcoin. So that is a lot of Bitcoin right there. But wait, is that really the price in USD? I thought 0.01 Bitcoin. Oh, wait, no, that is right, because 0.1 Bitcoin is 10,000. I was like, wait, where's that decimal place going? But TFTC responded to that tweet saying, we just launched Opportunity Cost, browse extension, no fiat illusions, just think it's Bitcoin. But Ben believes that Bitcoin is simply just a better type of money to hold and use rather than fiat currencies because the dollar is inflationary. And for that reason, he opposes the use of stablecoins, crypto tokens tied to the price of fiat currencies like the US dollar. Now, they're still tethered, pun intended, to the dollar, which is being inflated every year. Like every time they print more of it, it's just being inflated. Now, he said, alluding to Tether, the issuer of the largest stablecoin, USDT. Stablecoins are inherently unstable in the sense that they are tied to a continuously debasing currency. And so I think you want to hold better money out there. And yep, good example, Bitcoin. And to illustrate the point further, a new feature in development will show users how products cost less Bitcoin due to its rising value, even as those same products cost more in fiat currency due to inflation. But by viewing products in Bitcoin, he also thinks that it may reduce unnecessary spending habits. So as you're shopping on the web and engaging in consumerism, Ben explained, it's not only to help you gauge how much you're spending in Bitcoin, but also to ask yourself the question, would I rather have this trinket that I'm buying online right now or buy this much amount of it in Bitcoin? So just a nice little comparison out there. He also added that when you see a 4-bedroom apartment in New York City priced at 500 Bitcoin, it forces one to question that, is that apartment really worth 500 Bitcoin? It does make you want to question that too. So yeah, so that's this cool app. So like if you want to check it out, it's pretty fun to do so. Like you'll see in a couple other articles how it's already pre-pricing. But yeah, it says opportunitycost.app. It was in that tweet right there. Take you here. You can install it. And then once you install it, it's just a Web3 browser, because right there, opportunity cost, I have it pinned. But now everywhere I go, so let's see, if I go to Target, I wanted to look up how much the Nintendo Switch costs, because the Switch 2 just came out. How much is that in Bitcoin? Like, which one would I rather have more of? So, Nintendo Switch 2. Let's take a look at that. So, Switch 2 in consoles. And it is currently $499 or 4,700 or 4,071. I'm getting that wrong. 471,573 Satoshis. So, yeah, I think I'd much rather have the Satoshis and then get this later, because I don't have time to play games anymore. I honestly don't. Running the club, doing classes, keeping myself entertained too, as well on just like crypto subjects, playing with other just stuff online, just learning the space. I'm busy, so it's I do not have time for this, and yeah, I'd much rather just save the Satoshis over that. And let's see, but yeah, this works everywhere. Again, you're going to Amazon. Let's see, what else are we going to be buying from Amazon? I need to buy what do I need to buy? Coffee? Yeah, let's see, I need to buy some Kirkland coffee. That's what we need here at the club. So Summer's Roast, I just got a refund on this one because it never came. So this is usually $54 for 120 Keurigs, and that is 51,806 Satoshis. That is, wow. When you see it in Satoshis, it really brings up that price, but you can see it everywhere. Like, wait, does Taco Bell show pricing? It even goes on food as well. But no, I think you guys get the gist of how this extension works. Like, just now everything on your computer shows just Satoshis. So, oh, yep, here's Taco Bell's website. Get the 5-piece crispy chicken nuggets for $3.99 or 3,762 Satoshi. So, okay, I'm done. Like, we'll see this extension work even more on like these other articles that we're going to be covering. But yeah, so that again, the browser extension is opportunitycost.app if you want to give it a try. And what's up, Randy? I see you in the chat. You're out there putting together a desk for Gloria. But yeah, so this app is pretty cool. I recommend you try it out because it is pretty fun to see that. And I can't wait to see what else is I'm going to really be questioning. It's like, do I need that? Probably not. But so that's our first article, and wow, that took quite a bit of time. Now, what else took quite a bit of time, or it's been a while since it's been around, was the Bitcoin faucet turns 15, and now there's a sculpture in New York City that celebrates the monumental rise. So, yep, so here we have a faucet in New York City, and for those of you that don't know, 10 years ago, Andreessen Horowitz, I always forget his name or get that confused. Gavin Andreessen. Yeah, June 12, 2010, he released a website that allowed you to go there and collect Bitcoin if you need to. This was back in the day where you go to the site, you click redeem or vouch for, and then you receive 5 Bitcoin. But this was back when Bitcoin was $1 each. So, but yeah, this turns 15 years old, and now there's a monument to showcase it. So let's go through this article. So on June 12, 2010, core Bitcoin contributor Gavin Andreessen launched the famous Bitcoin faucet. At that time, the cryptocurrency was barely over a year old, and there was much uncertainty surrounding its future. Now, the Bitcoin faucet was one of the first projects to boost its adoption. The website gifted 5 Bitcoin to every visitor at a time when each Bitcoin was valued around $1 or 943 sats. See, look at that. The opportunity cost is already converting everything you see. But in an attempt to provide more people with access to digital assets. So this website was created just to give people access to Bitcoin, get them in a space, have some sort of wallet or however they held it back in the day. Maybe it was a paper wallet. But since then, the cryptocurrency has made one of the biggest rallies in history, rising from less than $1 to over $100,000. Now, in addition, the digital asset had been embraced by major institutions in the legacy financial world. We have art installations commemorates Bitcoin's rise. Now, in this context, fund investors turned mathematical artist Nelson Sayers created a unique sculpture to honor Bitcoin's rise. As seen in the image below, the artist placed a piece called Liquidity close to the New York Stock Exchange building. And here it is, the faucet, and looks like they have a couple signatures or transactions in the little statue. But liquidity, the Bitcoin faucet sculpture honoring Bitcoin's long journey into Wall Street, images courtesy of Nelson Sayers. Now, the piece is a white monolithic block covered in Bitcoin themed and pieces of code with a black faucet. Now, not only does this illustrate this key early project, but also how the cryptocurrency has made its way into Wall Street. In an exclusive talk with the Bitcoinist, the artist claims that the piece was strategically installed near the New York Stock Exchange to highlight Bitcoin's massive jump, but also how the US Federal Reserve and traditional institutions contribute with the cryptocurrency's ascent. Sayers told us. Now, I placed a sculpture called Liquidity near the New York Stock Exchange to commemorate this event. The choice to place it near the New York Stock Exchange was to celebrate its rise from a token that had little value 15 years ago to an asset with a total market cap that only a few stocks exceed. Now, the faucet imagery and the title, Liquidity, also pointed to the Fed's actions of injecting liquidity into the market, which in my opinion benefited Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, an outsider no more. Over the past decade, Sayers has dedicated to create and install unique pieces to celebrate Bitcoin and denounce U.S. authorities. As the Bitcoinist covered 3 years ago, the artist called cheap on the U.S. Fed by installing a vintage gumball machine in front of the Wall Street Bull, pointing at the institution's cheap money policies. Now, furthermore, Sayers also installed an inflatable Bitcoin rat, one of his most iconic pieces on different occasions, with a similar goal to convey the popular feeling of mistrust and lack of confidence in the legacy institutions. Now, regarding his latest piece, Sayers also told us that in many ways, Bitcoin is the ultimate financial outsider, and it was mocked and insulted by many leading experts from Nobel laureates to world-class financiers like Warren Buffett and Jamie Dimon. But today, it's gone from something that was being handed out for free 15 years ago by Andreessen to an asset whose market cap few stocks exceeded. So that is just a little piece of Bitcoin history and just the timeline of just what's going on, because I'm still waiting and curious to see how a Bitcoin movie is going to play out when they do make it. It's like, how are you going to tie in this and all this history of like when it started, it was mocked, it was made fun of, to eventually being probably the next world reserve currency. So it's going to be crazy to see that happen. But just a little piece of history. If you didn't know about the Bitcoin faucet 10 years ago, you can just go there, receive 5 Bitcoin. So yeah, so that was that news for you. And before we take our break, let's go over this article talking about how crypto has killed the weekend and hedge funds are getting quietly scrambling to adapt. So they're looking for employees to work the weekend because traditional market used to stop on Fridays at 5 or 6, and now crypto's going 24/7. But hedge funds like QB, Virtual, and Jump are hiring weekend crypto traders as traditional finance adapts to the non-stop digital asset markets. Nice little guy of a little coin and a shopping cart, I guess. But the always-on crypto market is reshaping global finance, pushing hedge funds and trading firms to look beyond traditional hours and staff desks throughout the weekend. Now, Cube Research, a global quantitative investment management firm headquartered in London, is hiring for a crypto quant trader weekend shift role in London, which requires weekend availability in addition to a 4-day work week. Now, the role, which includes overseeing continuous crypto trading, monitoring strategy performance and risk, and implementing signals and data sets, require working every other weekend and a normal day shift 4 days per week. Now, unlike traditional financial markets that operate on fixed schedules and closed on weekends, the crypto market runs 24/7. Now, there are no closing bells, holidays, or hours after sessions, and pricing movements can happen at any time, even during the weekends. Now, TradeFi firms hire for the weekend crypto roles, so we got other companies out there. So other traditional financial firms are also expanding crypto hiring to cover weekends. American high-frequency trading company Virtue Finance is seeking a weekend trader in Singapore to cover digital asset activity outside of the weekday trading windows. Now, Jump Trading crypto division was looking to hire a weekend trader in Chicago. The position is currently not available, suggesting that the company might have found the right candidate. Now, the rise in weekend crypto rolls comes as major hedge funds and trading firms are building crypto teams and infrastructures to operate around the clock. Braven Howard, dedicated crypto unit, BH Digital, now boasts dozens of staff, including over 15 portfolio managers, more than 10 data scientists/traders, and 20 external engineers supporting the strategies. We got Stephen Cohen's hedge fund, Point72, is similarly expanding its Cubist Quant division and is hiring a crypto-focused quantitative developer in Paris. Now, in March, a report of CoinShares revealed that 7 of the top 10 largest holders of Bitcoin ETF shares are now hedge funds, and hedge funds alone now account for 41% of all the 13-F Bitcoin ETF holdings, surpassing investment advisors for the first time, the firm wrote. Now, crypto does remain volatile on the weekends. Crypto continues to show its volatility during weekends. In April, crypto prices tumbled after a Friday tariff announcement by US President Donald Trump. The decline continued over the weekend, which saw Bitcoin drop 7% to $77,000. And that was when it was at $83,000. So that was a little dip at that moment. Then crypto markets can also turn extremely volatile during the weekends. If hacks or breaches occur within thinner liquidity and limiting staff exploits, timed for late Fridays or Saturdays can also trigger rapid sell-offs leading to sharp prices. So yeah, even negative news about a hack, a vulnerability in some code, that could lead to a sell-off too. So the price is always moving. There's always things that can cause a price to fluctuate. But while hedge funds are only now hiring for weekend rolls, crypto traders have long operated without breaks. Weekends are for working. Free time? ? No such thing. Work time, save your free time for the bear market. For now, we grind. Altcoin trader from Altcoin Gordon wrote on X. So, yep, we are just always grinding and working. So, yeah, so again, traditional finance is looking to hire some crypto traders on the weekend as they slowly adapt into this ever-evolving and slowly but quickly adopting world of crypto. So let us take our first crypto break. Let's take our quick little break, and then we'll be back with some more news.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around $94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
All right, and we're back. And as Jay said too, we offer bulk crypto purchases here at our club, so as long as you're a member and you want some no KYC Bitcoin, give us a call. But let's continue on with the news. What else is going on? Looks like GameStop stock plunged 22% after they announced that they wanted to invest $1.75 billion into Bitcoin, or they wanted to invest that worth of convertible bonds and turn that into Bitcoin, following strategy. So will they buy it? Well, let's see what this article has to say about it. So the company's stock, again, price fell 22% on Thursday after it unveiled plans to offer investors $1.75 billion worth of convertible bonds. Now, GameStop shares have plummeted on Thursday after the video game retailer announced that it would offer investors $1.75 billion worth of convertible senior notes, a form of corporate debt that Bitcoin buying firms like Strategy have tapped to accumulate the asset. Now, the Grapevine, Texas-based firm's stock price had dropped 22% to $22.12 as of noon Eastern Time, according to Yahoo Finance. Now, GameStop shares changed hands around $25.40 in late March when the company said that it could start leveraging Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as treasury reserve assets after updating its investment policy. Now, in a blog post, GameStop said that the proceeds from the convertible bonds, which will not bear regular interest, will go toward general corporate purposes, including investments consisting with its investment policy and acquisitions, according to the company blog post. Now, although GameStop purchased 4,710 Bitcoin last month, the company did not specifically mention Bitcoin in its Wednesday announcement. Now, the company has held other cryptocurrencies before as part of its ill-fated gambit to establish an NFT marketplace as well. Now, GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen hinted at the company's Bitcoin purchase when posing for a photo alongside Strategy co-founder and executive chairman Michael Saylor earlier this year. However, he said in a recent interview that the company would not telegraph any future Bitcoin purchases and that it's not following anyone else's strategy. Now, the way in which the company has communicated Bitcoin-related activity to shareholders hasn't mirrored most firms. Now, engaged in accumulating the asset, when the company divulged its first Bitcoin buy in late May, its one-sentence press release did not include an average purchase price or detail of how much money the company spent on Bitcoin. Now, what I think is very important for a Bitcoin treasury company is transparency and authenticity, and so far they've been a black box, Strive CEO Matt Cole told Decrypt in a recent interview. Now, before saying that, it would offer investors $1.75 billion worth of convertible bonds on Wednesday, and the company raised $1.5 billion through a similar offering in early April. Now, if you looked at the price on Bitcoin right now, that's 14,143 Bitcoin. And I just love this little extension app. Now, among those disappointing with GameStop's crypto foray, some feel that the company has been vague about its plans, while appearing to be more focused on maintaining its cash position. As of May, GameStop held $6.3 billion in cash and cash equivalent per its latest earning result. Now, recognized as the world's first meme stock, GameStop became a pandemic-era phenomenon. After its stock price skyrocketed during a historic short squeeze in 2021, Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty, became the de facto face of the retail-led movement, the bet against Wall Street institutions. And yeah, that was a fun time to be around the crypto space and even the stock space. Like, that's when I was like still working Nordstrom full time. That was my last year working through all of this. But like, I was holding on to Bitcoin, I was learning about it, all this crypto, and look where it's got me now, which is pretty amazing. But back then, it was just such a fun time to be like just being in the space, learning about it. It's like, whoa, look at the traditional system. Oh, look what Robinhood's doing, closing down accounts. This is why we need crypto. Like, during the darkest times of those moments, like, it was the best times in the crypto space, in my opinion. So that was fun. But yeah, this article never really explained, like, are they still going to buy the Bitcoin? Well, they might. They already did purchase, 4,700 Bitcoin. So they already did make their first purchase in it. So chances are they will continue it, but there are some skeptics out there. I once had an article I was going to go over, but then I just pulled it away. But it was talking about like how many of these new treasury companies with Bitcoin are going to stick around. Are they going to get shaken up by the market because they don't really understand it, they're following hype, or do they actually understand what they're holding on to, what they're acquiring? And then that article is just fun news. So that's why I kind of pulled it away, didn't want to just leave it out there. But I think they're going to continue buying. That's just my thought on it. Why would they not? Like, prices dip and you buy a cheaper price. That's kind of how the game is. You buy low and most of the guys sell off high. You don't buy high, sell low, which most people do. So these guys are about to buy low. That's what I'm just seeing. Now let's move on to our next article, though. Let's continue on with the news. Looks like USDT issuer Tether buys 32% stake in Canadian gold royalty firm. Looks like getting closer to a gold and Bitcoin ecosystem standard. So Tether's